Now to talk more about the rising coronavirus numbers and vaccines is the LA County District Supervisor from the 4th District, Janice Hahn. Good to see you again.
Good evening.
Where do you see where we're at right now in terms of what should be done? Do you agree with this idea of the indoor mask mandate? Do you think more needs to be done, less needs to be done? What do you think?
Well, here's how I look at it. We have over 2,500 new cases of COVID. 85% of those are the Delta variant. I heard today that if we were still in the tiered system that we had earlier this year, we would be in the most restrictive tier. So the way I look at it, it's going in the wrong direction. It's a little bit alarming to me that we have a 20-fold increase in cases. And then, as you said at the top of the show, 20% are people who are vaccinated. So I look at it like we're still in a war against this virus. I thought the vaccines were the game changer, which they still are to a great degree. But the Delta variant has also been a game changer, and we're going to have to shift a little bit.
But we're also not seeing hospitalizations or deaths spiking in a really dramatic way, in part because of all the people that are vaccinated, in part because all the people that have already had COVID-19 and may be immune to it now. So shouldn't the strategy change?
Well, I think you make a good point, right? So this vaccine still does protect you against serious illness and death, and mostly going to the hospital, but even vaccinated people can still catch it, and unfortunately can spread it. I'm worried about the unvaccinated. We still have almost 4 million people in LA County who aren't vaccinated. Some refuse to get it. Others are just kind of waiting for a little more information. Some are waiting for it to be FDA approved. So I do think we have to take another small step, which I think is having everyone put their masks back on, so we don't have to move towards where we were of real restrictions on these businesses. I do not want to go back to limiting capacity and hours of operation, and you can only pick up your food at the curb. This small step of wearing a mask, I hope, will stem the tide of this recent surge.
So you saw perhaps in Christie's story just a few minutes ago, the young men who said they're not going to get the vaccine. So we know there's the population out there that is saying that for whatever their reasons are. How do you address those people who are saying no, no matter what?
I think that is such a challenge. I mean, winning the lottery didn't help. Winning season tickets at the Lakers didn't really seem to help. Having people go door to your church didn't help. I don't know what to do. I do think possibly the private sector, if they want to, could increase the number of people getting vaccinated. If your employer said you can't come back to work if you're not vaccinated, that would make a big difference. I know to people I know, they want their jobs, they want their money. If people started saying you can't come to this particular concert, you can't come to a Dodger game unless you're vaccinated, I think the private sector could help us. I don't think government has the appetite right now to do something like France did, kind of telling people you can't travel, you can't go to restaurants, you can't go to theater unless you're vaccinated. But the private sector could actually step up and make a difference for some of those people that have so far refused to get vaccinated.
So it sounds like you're in support of that Assemblywoman Buffy Wick's bill that she just talked about, which would essentially do what you're just talking about. Okay, let's talk about another issue that I know you're passionate about, and a lot of people in your district were like, what happened here? This is the Hyperion sewage spill. 17 million gallons of sewage goes out to the ocean. The beach is shut down for 3 days. A lot of people want to know, how did this happen, and how do we stop this from happening again?
Horrifying to think that we had 17 million gallons of sewage going out into those oceans. And the worst part was it took our Department of Public Health almost a day to begin to notify people. We had people swimming in the ocean. We had mothers who were upset because their kids were in swim camp and they did not know this. So two things. We need to find out how that happened at the LA City sanitation plant. How could they have gotten that overwhelmed by debris that all their equipment failed? And the second issue as well is, why did it take so long to notify the public? This was an immediate emergency incident. In other words, you got to close the beach immediately when you find this out, and too much time went by before we notified our lifeguards, before we started putting up signs that said get out of the water. So I have a lot of questions, and this Tuesday on the Board of Supervisors, I'm going to grill some people publicly about what happened.
Hopefully we'll get some answers then. We'll check back with you perhaps on Tuesday. Thank you, Supervisor Janice Hahn. We appreciate your time on 2 issues. Thank you.
Thank you.